Hi friends, it's Sarah from Berry and Pine, and today we're going to do 3 faux fur crafts for Christmas. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. So this, as you can recognize, is a very used Dollar Tree wreath form, but it was in my craft room, so we're going to use it. This is 4-inch ribbon that is faux fur. It's originally $12. I got it for $3, so why not? Now, I don't have the full 6 feet, but it still works. This is just 1.5-inch ribbon, and then whatever decor pieces or accent pieces you want. This is going to go upstairs. I'm a child. Anyway, this is going to go upstairs, so it's going to go with the rustic motif up there. So I'm not sure I'll use that at all, but this is the star of the show. So I don't know where I got these because I don't use these kinds of sewing pins. I actually use the ones like these with the little balls. So if I stole these from my mom in like early aughts, I apologize, Mom. So let's put those away so we don't poke ourselves. But basically, we're just going to secure the very start of this and then hold that while you pull the other tight, and that you're going to be going on an extreme angle, right? Like it's very extreme because you only want to cover just the edge of it. So I'm going to push it down and then pull. You see how far to the edge I'm pulling? And we're going to tuck that in. And then on the other side, under here, we're going to put one. And then we're going to, on the other side, put one when we get to the back. And then that way it'll be all secure on all the edges. And the best part is, even though this is a really, really like low nap fur, it totally works and it covers up all of the pins. So you can see here, I'm going to pull it over really, really tightly and then pop the pin in. And then you cannot see where it joins. Isn't that, or where it overlaps, I mean. I think that's just so cool. Faux fur is so forgiving. And honestly, all of these projects are ridiculously inexpensive to make. Like this one took maybe, I don't even think it took 15 minutes. That's even going out to the garage to get the zip ties. I don't think it took 15 minutes, but I'm not going to make you watch it real time, so I'm going to speed this part up. Can you tell? This really took me 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I like to disclose that so that you know. But if you ever see this faux fur on clearance, on this ribbon, I absolutely get it. I always get it. So you can see mine is a little short because I didn't have the full 6 feet, but honestly, I'm going to put the ribbon there, so I don't care. All right, so once we have that, I do put a couple extra pins in the start and the stop over there just to make sure that, you know, nothing gets snagged and pulled. But look at this. Look how nice. And then if you have any parts where you can see like the seam, I'm going to pull out the fur and then hide it. Easy peasy. And under the studio lighting, this fur gets lost, but I promise you, I'll show you at the end under natural light. It's beautiful. So that's the thing I got at Michael's, and I thought, I wanted the jingling, but I didn't want it to hit the door. So you can use whatever you want, but I'm going to rip off some pine sprigs from this because I can. You can get those at the Dollar Tree, but that one I think is from Hobby Lobby. Could be from Michael's. But I'm just going to use that, bend over the tip, and then we're going to secure these 2 pieces together, I think without the twine, with zip ties. And then I'm going to zip tie it to the wreath. Now, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I have an abundance of zip ties. No, I'm kidding. We can hide the zip ties in the fur. That's why. Also, we can take this apart. It is fully deconstructible. And when you are working with faux fur, sometimes that's a really good thing. Like you'll like it for one season, but you want to use it for something else. By the way, if you do want to use it for something else, I have a whole entire channel here on YouTube where I use faux fur to make gnomes. Okay, so I'm just putting a small little zip tie behind here, zipping these 2 together, cutting off the twine because I don't like it. And then I'm going to take a 2 larger in the same, like, it's like a clear color. It's not really clear. And then I'm just going to go right through there and secure that on. And guess what? We're going to brush the little faux fur so we cannot even see this as well. So I will say you're going to want to put it north of center because it will lean if you don't. And I wanted mine even. So here you can see I'm just brushing the faux fur away before I pull that tight. Just making sure I can cover it. getting it into place, pulling it tight, and cutting off. I have actually 2 zip tie ends that I have to cut off. Now you can do whatever you want, a bow, whatnot, but again, this is going over a door, so I don't need a bow. I just want it to be secure. So I'm going to double loop over the ribbon and do it that way. So I love this if you're looping over like my cabinet doors or my pantry door, or basically any other door in my house. I love putting an upside down command hook and then having the ribbon be the show, and that's easy here. But you can also glue on a bow to cover this little join right here. I'm going to loop it through, and then you can knot it as well. I'm gonna knot it at both the join and the top, and then this is ready. I did brush it out with my hands a little bit, like to kind of roughen it up, and then I'll show you. This is under studio lighting, and then I'll show you under natural lighting at the end, just because I think it's unfair sometimes if people edit photos and don't disclose it. All right, so this I got for 79 cents at Hobby Lobby, and these I got on clearance at Target. Now, they're not the best because you can see there's chip and all the glitter's gone from the laces on this one, but we're gonna be able to use it with a little faux fur accent and some Scrabble tiles. So I also have a couple of different types of rope and ribbon that I'm going to use. This is a little out of perspective, but I think it looks cute. Let me know if you like it in the comment section down below. I thought, what a great way to use like white rope. All right, so because the bottoms, let me zoom in, but because the bottoms are not perfect, I'm just going to use a Posca paint pen to sort of clean those up. And again, I think it was just because they were banging around in the way that Target, you know, puts their ornaments all in a bin. So once that was done, I'm just going to cut. This is 1.5 inch, could be 1 inch. I'll look at that and validate below, but I always buy all of this stuff on clearance because you never know when you're going to need it. And just taking a little bit. They did have a, what do you call it? Dingy, grungy, little like felt right here, but I didn't like it. And I just think that faux fur, even as cheap as these ribbons are, they're gonna elevate a project. Always, they're gonna elevate a project. Always use like a real fur pom-pom or whatever, it's gonna be better. So I got to dump them out and play a little puzzle. I spelled out all 3, Mary Jo, you know, Joy, Noel, Mary, just to see. And look how perfectly this covers up the C. I just want to say that. I used a spacer, which was a Q, by the way. I didn't project using that in a craft. But I used a Q turned upside down to get a spacer to hold up that. And then I just played with a couple of these, just because I had a little bit of room. I chose the Joy. Which one would you have chosen? I like the Mary going down, but I figure it would need a coordinating snowflake, which I didn't have. So if you don't know, when you're cutting the rope ribbon, just add a piece of clear Scotch tape and then cut in the center of that tape to avoid any unraveling. And just glue that down. And then once I had that glued down, I glued down my little spacer. And then the bottom and top. So it's really cool. That is the metal at the bottom, that little red thing. And then it's just very skinny cardboard or really thin wood. So I had to keep seeing where to glue it. So that is why I keep repeating myself there. But I think that's cute with the cute little placement. So I'm going to glue that on, and I don't think it needs much more, but I do mess up. And of course, I'm going to leave that in just in case you mess up too. You know how to fix it. So I mess up big time, not gonna lie. So look at me, I'm doing so well. Everything's glued down. You're not a klutzy crafter, Sarah. But wait, of course it went glue side down. And yeah, okay, don't worry. Don't panic. I just pull the glue string off, and then I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit, just a little. And then I'm going to take a ribbon that is the same color as my background. You need something not like fleece or whatever, but something like a grosgrain ribbon, and just scratch it off. Don't worry. Leave it alone. Make sure everything else is good. And then glue this down. Don't freak out. I know your heartbeat is elevated right now, but I promise you I'm going to fix it with this teeny tiny little piece of mystery cleaner. It's not mystery cleaner. I had a little grungy part when I bought it down there, so I'm going to clean that off too. This is the, now you have a blank canvas. Look, it's that. It's a little teeny tiny corner of a Lysol wipe, but I swear that stuff saves me. And because it still has this, I'm going to take off the labels that say Hobby Lobby, but look at that. You could put that. I don't even think that was $2 if you add up all of that. What do you think? All right. So the last project, I'm not going to make you sit through me painting this, but this was $14 originally. I got it for 50% off. I have some paints and I'm using that same exact fur ribbon. Now, I'm not going to make you watch it. This took a minimum of 3 red because I hate the red paint that I have, but I'm going to use it because I hate wasting things. So this took 3 coats of the red just to get solid. And then I did let the first coat dry and then help the other ones along with my heat gun. Here's a painting tip. If you need a darker shade and a lighter shade, always mix it with colors you're already using in your project. So I have a very beautiful light celery color green. I'm going to add black to it. That is going to be my shadowing and going to be the start to the stem of the tree. Trunk of the tree. What? I think I just lost my mind. Anyway, I'm going to take that darker color. I'm going to put it underneath that layers, and I'm also going to put it in like the creases that are already in there. Then I'm going to take the light color and I'm going to put that on top. And then I'm going to mix the dark and the light. So that way I have 3 different colors that are going to give this thing depth. And the lightest is only going to go on the tops and the edges where the sun would hit it. And the dark and the medium are going to go everywhere else. All right, so once it was dry and once everything was painted, I did spray it with a clear matte sealant. And now it's time for my little furry add-ons. Look at that. It's going to be so cute, I promise. Okay, so I just eyeball measured with, which means end to end plus 1 finger's width. And I'll show you in just a second. But basically, we're just going all the way around and then adding 1 finger width and then cutting that. So I do that for everything because it makes it simple, and you're going to see why. The edges of the ribbons and all this are really ugly. Like, they're really, really ugly. But we need it to look nice and seamless. So for the little ones on the feet, you can see like the width of those two and the belly versus the bottom of the boots are very different thicknesses. So for this one, I'm going to fold in the edges and then fold in the top and the bottom. That will make this all look the same size. So I'm just going to glue it down. I'm going to hold that in place for a couple of seconds, and then I'm just going to glue it all the way around and join up the 2 edges. And some of my joins are great and some of them aren't. Try and blend them by just fluffing it up. But I'm going to repeat that with the other boot. And then the rest of them are all different. So they're all the same, sorry, but they're a different method. And that is because we don't want to see like the edge of the ribbon, right? I don't know what the fabric part of the ribbon. But you see how they're going to look the same size as the other stuff. So all I'm going to do is fold in the edge like we did before, and then fold down the top just a little bit. And then that way it hides that on the top. I can't do that with both edges on this one because you'll be able to see some of that grungy little plaster under it, and I didn't want to see that. So then I'm going to tuck this up right to the edge, hold it in place, and then when I have that, I'm just going to add a small little bead of glue to the very bottom and then use my fingernail to tuck that up. If you don't have fingernails, use a popsicle stick. Just kind of push it up and push down the fur. So I'll show you in my final images, I pushed up the fur so you could see that is the actual fabric, but I pushed down the fur when it's going to go on display. And then you just do that all the way around. Now, those are all pretty small joins, but his belly is rotund. So I'm going to do his belly in 2 parts. And remember how I said sometimes I do a good join in faux fur and then sometimes you can see it? Well, we're not perfect, is all I'm going to say. So anyway, I just put this on and then secured it and then put the second one on and then join them in the back. And then that way, look, you can see exactly where they join, but it's okay. In my opinion, it's okay. So for the pom-pom, you can try and chisel it off, chisel the plaster off, but I'm just gonna cover it in the same way. So again, fold in the end, fold down the top, and then tuck it all the way around. And again, it will work. You're just gonna make a much longer, you can see how much longer that is. And I'm just gonna fold it over, and then I have this little crease section at the bottom, but I just tuck it in and then glue it down, and it covers it completely. Isn't that funny? I love it. And this again, $7 and some painting. And look at him. I think he's super cute. What do you think? I do love the color of the red. I love all the details, bringing in the golds into the creases and stuff, but here is everything in natural light. I always promise to show that so that there's no surprises. I would love to hear if you like or don't like any of these projects. Let me know down in the comments below. I think my favorite project is the Santa. He also took the longest, but hey, it's an idea and a way to dress up something really inexpensive with a little faux fur. Thank you for watching. Please like Berry and Pine and subscribe for more fun.